Picture this. Two people start the same job on the same day, same education, same skills, same opportunities. 5 years later, one is struggling to pay rent while the other is running their own company. What happened? Here's what's fascinating. It wasn't luck. It wasn't talent. And it definitely wasn't who they knew. What if I told you there are invisible rules governing success that most people never discover? Rules that operate like gravity, always working, whether you're aware of them or not. Ancient philosophers knew them. Modern psychology confirms them. And today, you're going to learn all 5. These aren't feel-good platitudes or get-rich-quick schemes. These are the universe's actual operating principles for success, and once you understand them, everything changes. I'm talking about success in the deepest sense. Not just money or fame, but that feeling of flow where your life actually works. Where opportunities appear, relationships thrive, and your efforts create real results. Here's the thing. Success isn't random. It follows patterns. Just like water always flows downhill. And plants always grow toward light, there are universal principles that guide human achievement. These 5 rules work across every domain of life. Your career, relationships, health, creativity. They've been quietly shaping the lives of everyone from Steve Jobs to your neighbor who always seems to have it together. The best part? So you know these rules? You can't unknow them. So they become your secret advantage in a world where most people are playing blindfolded. So let's dive in. The first secret rule is this. The universe rewards persistence over perfection. Think of success like compound interest. Einstein called it the 8th wonder of the world, and it doesn't just apply to money. Every small, consistent action you take builds on the last one, creating momentum that eventually becomes unstoppable. Imagine you're planting a garden. You don't plant a seed today and expect tomatoes tomorrow, but if you water it consistently, protect it, tend to it day after day, something magical happens. One day you look up and you have a harvest. James Clear talks about this beautifully. If you get 1% better every day for a year, you end up 37 times better than when you started. But here's what most people miss. The universe tests your consistency first. It gives you days when nothing seems to happen, when progress feels invisible. This is where most people quit. Right before the breakthrough, consider Jerry Seinfeld's calendar method. He marked an X on his calendar every day. He wrote jokes. His only job was to not break the chain. No pressure for brilliance, just consistency. That simple system helped create one of the most successful comedies in television history. The universe doesn't care about your Monday motivation. It cares about your Thursday follow-through. Here's the second rule, and it's not what you think. Like attracts like, but only through action. Now, I'm not talking about magical thinking. I'm talking about something psychologists call selective attention. When you're genuinely focused on something, your brain literally starts noticing opportunities that were always there but invisible to you. Buy a red car, and suddenly you see red cars everywhere. Decide you want to start a business, and you start noticing every entrepreneurial conversation, every market gap, every potential mentor. This is the reticular activating system at work. The part of your brain that filters reality based on what you've decided is important. Ancient Stoic philosophers understood this. They knew that how you see the world determines what opportunities you can access. But here's the crucial part. You have to take action on what you notice. Opportunities are like subway trains. They're constantly arriving, but only for people who are standing on the platform ready to board. I once met someone who randomly bumped into their future business partner at a coffee shop. Random? Hardly. They were there at 6 a.m. every day, working on their business plan. That consistency put them in the path of possibility. The universe doesn't deliver opportunities to your couch, delivers them to people who are already in motion. Rule number 3. The universe favors the flexible. Darwin never said survival of the fittest. He said survival of the most adaptable. The creatures that thrived weren't the strongest or smartest. They were the ones who could change when the environment changed. Success works the same way. Your first plan will fail. Your second plan will probably fail too. That's not a bug in the system, that's the feature. Failure is the universe's way of giving you data. Think about bamboo. It's one of the strongest plants on Earth, but watch it in a storm. While rigid trees snap and fall, Bamboo bends so far it nearly touches the ground. Then it springs back, stronger than before. Netflix started as a DVD by mail company. When streaming became possible, they didn't cling to their old model. They adapted, evolved, and ended up revolutionizing entertainment. Blockbuster? It stayed rigid. We know how that ended. Every setback contains information. Every failure is feedback. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who fail forward. Extract the lesson, adjust the approach, and keep moving. The universe is constantly changing the rules of the game. Your job isn't to resist the change, it's to dance with it. Fourth rule: success is a network effect, and networks are built on value. Here's what most people get wrong about networking. They think it's about taking. But the universe operates on reciprocity. What you give out, you get back, multiplied. This isn't karma in some mystical sense, it's practical psychology. When you help someone succeed, you create an ally. When you solve someone's problem, you become valuable to them. When you give first, you trigger the psychological principle of reciprocity that makes people want to help you back. But here's the key: you have to give without keeping score. The moment you turn generosity into a transaction, people sense it. The universe, it stops responding. Reid Hoffman, founder of LinkedIn, has a philosophy: help people without expecting anything in return, and you'll be surprised how much comes back to you. His network became his net worth, but only because he spent years being genuinely useful to others. Think of it like a river. A river that only takes in water but never gives any out becomes a stagnant pond. But a river that flows, that gives as much as it receives, stays alive and nourishes everything around it. The universe rewards value creators, not value extractors. When you make other people successful, success flows back to you through channels you never could have planned. The final rule: energy flows where attention goes, but only when it's focused. Imagine trying to start a fire with sunlight. If you just let the sun hit the wood, nothing happens. But focus that same sunlight through a magnifying glass. Concentrate it into a single point, and suddenly you have flame. Your energy works the same way, scattered across a dozen different goals. It's just warm light. Focused on one or two crucial objectives, it becomes powerful enough to ignite real change. Warren Buffett has a simple rule. He focuses on his top priority and says no to everything else. Maybe later. Or let me think about it, just no. He understands that every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that matters. This is why the most successful people seem to have supernatural focus. They're not doing more things. They're doing fewer things with more intensity. They've learned to distinguish between what's urgent and what's important, between motion and progress. The universe has infinite possibilities, but your attention is finite. Where you consistently place your focus becomes your reality. Choose wisely. Ancient philosophers called this the path, not because there's only one way to succeed, but because success requires choosing one way and walking it fully, rather than wandering between many paths and mastering none. So there they are. The 5 secret rules the universe uses to distribute success. Consistency beats perfection. Focused attention creates opportunity. Adaptation turns obstacles into advantages. Giving builds networks that multiply your efforts. And concentrated energy creates breakthroughs that scattered effort never could. These aren't just philosophical ideas, they're practical tools. They work whether you're building a business, deepening relationships, mastering a skill, or simply trying to create a life that feels meaningful. The most beautiful part? These rules compound. Consistency makes you more likely to spot opportunities. Opportunities lead to challenges that build your adaptability. Adaptability makes you more valuable to others, which expands your network. And your network provides the focus and resources you need to concentrate your energy on what matters most. It's all connected. It's all working together. The universe isn't random. It's systematic. And now you know the system. So here's my question for you. Which of these rules will you apply today to start changing your life? Will you commit to consistency in one small area? Will you look for an opportunity to give value to someone else? Will you choose to focus your scattered energy on what truly matters? Whatever you choose, start today. The universe is waiting to respond. If this resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos on philosophy, psychology, and the hidden patterns that shape our lives. And drop a comment below. Which rule surprised you most? I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and remember, success isn't luck. It's a learnable system, and you just learned it.